Jacqueline Bisset has always been the epitome of classic elegance and beauty on the red carpet and in the movie theater. She still enthralls audiences at 80 with her indisputable grace and charm. What's her secret, though? She's consistently maintained a remarkable presence that astounds audiences, defying Hollywood's expectations. Jacqueline is still regarded as a legend because of her timeless beauty and unwavering love for acting. But wait until you meet her today. She's undergone a fantastic metamorphosis. How's she maintained her youthful appearance and level of activity throughout the years? Join us as we delve into her incredible journey in further detail and uncover the mysteries behind the timeless appeal. From England to stardom. Jacqueline Bisset was born in Weybridge, Surrey, England, on September 13, 1944. Her path to Hollywood was anything but typical. She was exposed to European refinement and British sensibility while growing up in a bilingual home with her French mother, Arlette Alexander, and her British father, Max Fraser Bisset. Her early years were far from simple, though. Young Jacqueline had to grow up fast after learning that her mother had multiple sclerosis, juggling her education with taking care of her mother. She developed a quiet resilience during this time that would later become a hallmark of her on-screen persona. She didn't originally intend to pursue acting, but her passion for vintage movies, especially those featuring Ingrid Bergman and Jean Gabin, piqued her curiosity. Despite appearing as a future star, she would ultimately stand out in an industry that frequently undervalued intelligence combined with beauty, thanks to her perseverance, self-control, and multilingualism. A beauty that turned heads. Jacqueline Bisset was already causing a stir in the fashion industry before she ever set foot in front of the camera. She became a sought-after model in London's swinging 60s scene thanks to her perfect bone structure, deep green eyes, and effortless grace. However, modeling was always a means to an end and never the end itself. Determined to succeed on her terms, she utilized her money to pay for acting training. She portrayed a casino girl in the 1965 James Bond parody, Casino Royale, her first experience with the movie business. But as soon as producers realized she was there, she began to get more prominent roles. Jacqueline was more than just a gorgeous face, unlike many other actresses of the time. She put a lot of effort into honing her skills, studying method acting to add depth to her performances, and taking diction courses to refine her voice. Her first big break. Jacqueline had amassed a respectable list of little jobs by the end of the 1960s, but 1968 was the year that everything changed. She co-starred with Frank Sinatra in The Detective as Norma MacGyver, the unhappy wife of a murder suspect. Both reviewers and moviegoers praised her for her subtle performance. But Bullitt was the one who made her famous in Hollywood. The movie starred Steve McQueen and gained notoriety for its innovative vehicle chase scene through San Francisco streets. Although Jacqueline's portrayal as McQueen's love interest, Kathy, was brief, she brought a depth of emotion that counterbalanced the film's intense action. More significantly, Bullitt demonstrated that she could compete with the biggest names in Hollywood. She became a leading woman due to the movie's popularity, demonstrating her ability to dominate the screen with her charm and brilliance. The Steve McQueen connection. Working on Bullitt with Steve McQueen was more than just a job. It led to one of the most fascinating friendships in Hollywood. There were countless speculations of an off-screen romance because of their indisputable on-screen chemistry. McQueen publicly praised Jacqueline, describing her as one of the most sophisticated and clever women he'd ever encountered, even though she'd always kept her personal life secret. Unlike many of his female co-stars, Jacqueline was unfazed by his tough guy image. Instead, she engaged in in-depth discussions with him about philosophy, art, and movies. Although their relationship was never made public, insiders claim they respected one another until McQueen's death in 1980. Jacqueline was one of the few ladies who could see through his bluster. He even acknowledged it in one interview. One of Hollywood's most intriguing what-ifs is still their relationship. The movie that made her an international icon. Although Jacqueline Bisset was already well known, her fame was elevated by The Deep in 1977. She became an overnight sensation after appearing in a now famous sequence in the underwater thriller based on Peter Benchley's book, while sporting a white, damp t-shirt. Her reputation as a global sex icon was cemented when the picture became one of the decade's most famous pop culture moments. However, Jacqueline was more than a pretty face. Her portrayal as Gail Burke, a daring traveler entangled in a botched treasure hunt, demonstrated her ability to strike a balance between strength and tenderness. She later acknowledged that she was aware of the influence of images in Hollywood, even if she'd never aimed to be a bombshell. She demonstrated that she could be attractive and skilled without being typecast by sticking to serious roles despite the attention. A brush with Bond. Unexpectedly, Jacqueline Bisset never turned into a Bond girl, even though she and James Bond appeared to be a match made in movie heaven. She was considered for several James Bond movies such as Moonraker in 1979 and On Her Majesty's Secret Service in 1969, but she declined the roles. Jacqueline perceived being a Bond girl as a step backward, unlike many other actresses who saw it as a way to advance their careers. She was cautious about playing flat people whose only function was to provide the famous spy with eye candy. She acknowledged in subsequent interviews that she preferred challenging jobs that allowed her to explore nuanced emotions rather than merely attractiveness. Nonetheless, she was never forgotten by Bond filmmakers, and her grace and elegance were sometimes credited as the model for later Bond ladies who deviated from the norm. Jacqueline embodied all the sophistication, mystery, and charm of a Bond girl, even though she had never played one. The French Connection. More than merely a tribute to her ancestry, Jacqueline's strong French roots influenced her career in ways that few Hollywood actors could match. She worked with some of the most well-known directors of her era because of her natural European charm and fluency in French, which made her a darling among French filmmakers. Day for Night in 1973, directed by the renowned François Truffaut, featured one of her most iconic performances. Often praised as one of the best films in cinema, the picture is a tribute to the art of filmmaking and received the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Picture. Jacqueline received much praise for portraying Julie Baker, a British actress navigating the hectic atmosphere of a French movie set. She demonstrated her versatility by moving fluidly between Hollywood blockbusters and art house masterpieces. Unlike many American actresses who found it difficult to break into the European film industry, she's still regarded as a Hollywood and French film icon today. A private yet intriguing love life. In an industry where high-profile relationships often make headlines, Jacqueline Bisset never married despite being one of Hollywood's most attractive women. She had personal relationships with well-known men throughout her life, such as Swiss actor Vincent Perez and Canadian actor Michael Sarrazin, with whom she dated for almost 10 years. She also had a famous relationship with Alexander Godunov, a Russian ballet dancer who made headlines for his dramatic departure from the Soviet Union. She also had a romance with Victor Dry, a well-known businessman for his nightlife and film endeavors. Jacqueline once declared that she never thought marriage was necessary for happiness and consistently insisted that she valued her independence above all else. She acknowledged that she had fallen madly in love several times, but favored unrestricted partnerships. She is among Hollywood's most intriguing and seductive characters due to her ability to keep her personal life private, which only serves to heighten her aura of mystery. The role she regrets turning down. Every Hollywood performer has a role that eludes them. For Jacqueline Bisset, it was the 1987 film Fatal Attraction. She turned down the role of Alex Forrest, the infatuated lover in the psychological thriller, because she believed the movie might not appeal to viewers. Glenn Close was cast in the part, and her haunting portrayal became famous, leading her to Academy Award nomination. With its notorious bunny boiling sequence, the movie solidified its place in popular culture and was a huge box office triumph. Later, Jacqueline acknowledged that she had misjudged the impact of the writing and felt terrible about letting go of such a strong and nuanced character. But she also thought Close was ideal for the part, adding a unique intensity that might not have been there if she had accepted it. Despite missing out on Fatal Attraction, Jacqueline continued to take on complex roles, demonstrating her range and nuance as a performer. Still stunning at 80. Despite the harsh realities of aging in Hollywood, Jacqueline Bisset has managed to maintain her effortless elegance far into her 80s. She attributes her ageless beauty to a disciplined lifestyle and has accepted the natural aging process, unlike many of her friends who resorted to cosmetic surgery. She stays active with yoga and swimming, eats a Mediterranean-style diet, and abstains from excessive drinking. She embodies aging gracefully thanks to her radiant skin and chic style. Fans are frequently astounded by her bright appearance on the red carpet, demonstrating that beauty is about more than simply being young. It's also about self-care and confidence. She's also emphasized the importance of maintaining mental acuity, pursuing lifelong learning, and surrounding oneself with supporting people. Jacqueline is still active in the industry at 80, proving that grace and talent do not diminish with age. Working with Hollywood's biggest stars. Jacqueline Bisset's career success demonstrates her ability to compete with the most prominent Hollywood icons. She's been on the screen alongside Paul Newman in The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean in 1972, Sean Connery in The Fifth Musketeer in 1979, and Anthony Quinn in The Greek Tycoon in 1978. Jacqueline often showed that she was more than just a stunning co-star, she was a formidable actress. All of these performers were renowned for their imposing presence. Working with Marcello Mastroianni and François Truffaut's L'Une Americaine, Day for Night, in 1973, which won the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film, stands out among her most unforgettable moments. She has frequently remarked on how working with such seasoned performers helped her hone her craft, and she remains incredibly appreciative of the opportunity to work with some of Hollywood's finest. The awards and accolades. Even though Jacqueline Bisset never won an Academy Award for extraordinary talent, her career has been widely recognized. Her performance in the British drama series Dancing on the Edge, which tells the story of a jazz ensemble in the 1930s, earned her a Golden Globe in 2014. She was emotional and paused for a long time before giving a moving speech on tenacity in Hollywood, which became one of the night's most talked about moments. In 2010, France also recognized her services to the film industry by making her a Chevalier of the Legion d'Honneur. The distinguished award ranks her among the nation's most esteemed artists. She's also been honored at numerous film festivals and given Lifetime Achievement Awards. Despite not having won an Oscar, Jacqueline's influence on film is indisputable, and her reputation as one of the most sophisticated and gifted actors endures. The controversial film that pushed boundaries. Jacqueline Bisset has consistently taken on complex roles, and one of her most notable ones was Rich and Famous in 1981. She portrayed Liz Hamilton in the movie, a successful author negotiating a turbulent friendship with Candice Bergen's character, a young novelist. One scene in particular, a daring private bathtub, sparked discussion, and the film's examination of ambition, female rivalry, and sensuality was revolutionary. Critics commended Jacqueline's bold performance, noting how she lent depth to a character that could have easily been one-dimensional. In contrast, others derided the movie as controversial for its purpose. Rich and Famous, directed by the legendary George Cukor, was also noteworthy since it was his final film. Jacqueline's portrayal of Liz is still regarded as one of her most nuanced and emotionally unvarnished roles, demonstrating her willingness to take chances and push limits throughout her career. Her thoughts on aging in Hollywood. Jacqueline Bisset has always been refreshingly honest about the reality of aging in a field that's fixated on youth. She's advocated against the unfair treatment of women in Hollywood, where women are frequently marginalized after a certain age. At the same time, actors like Clint Eastwood and Sean Connery continue to secure prominent roles well into their 70s and 80s. Despite this, she has consistently accepted assignments that enable her to showcase her refinement and intelligence, never allowing age to define her career. Instead of following the newest trends, Jacqueline thinks that talent and adaptability are the foundation of a successful profession. She's also counseled younger actors to prioritize their work before appearance, stressing that depth and expertise are the keys to real longevity in Hollywood. Her defiance of professional expectations has inspired many, demonstrating that growing older is merely another stage in a life well lived, not a reason to abandon one's career. The godmother of Angelina Jolie. Jacqueline Bisset's intimate relationship with Angelina Jolie is among her most intriguing Hollywood relationships. Jacqueline was honored to be Angelina's godmother because she's been friends with Jolie's mother, Marceline Bertrand, for many years. She's witnessed Angelina transform from a rebellious young actress to a renowned humanitarian and Academy Award winner. Jacqueline has frequently complimented Angelina on her knowledge, strength, and dedication to making a positive impact on the world. She's also stated that she admires Angelina's ability to manage her 6 children and her global advocacy efforts. Even though Jacqueline has always respectfully avoided the media hysteria surrounding Jolie's life, she stood up for her goddaughter when needed, describing her as a very kind and misunderstood woman. Interestingly, many fans find Angelina to possess the same sophisticated elegance and authoritative on-screen persona as Jacqueline, which heightens the interest in their godmother-goddaughter relationship. Both women have a strong sense of independence and an unmistakable presence in Hollywood, despite the generational divide. Her passion for languages. In addition to being a gifted actor, Jacqueline Bisset is a true polyglot. Her early appreciation of languages stemmed from her upbringing in a multilingual English-French home in England. She didn't stop there, though. She speaks Spanish and Italian over the years for various movie parts, becoming remarkably proficient in pronunciation and dialects. Her language proficiency opened doors in the international film industry, enabling her to appear in Italian productions such as The Sunday Woman in 1975 and French features, including La Cérémonie in 1995. She is one of the few Hollywood celebrities who can easily transition between multiple film sectors, and directors praised her ability to switch between languages. She once said that studying various languages improved her ability to communicate as an actress and helped her comprehend different cultures. She still enjoys practicing her talents and watching movies in their native language. Her passion for languages reflects her profound admiration for narrative outside of Hollywood. A style icon for decades. Jacqueline Bisset has been the pinnacle of classic style since the glitzy 1960s. Unlike many of her peers who adopted fads, she has stuck to timeless, effortless, stylish looks. Her unique style, characterized by voluminous hair, minimal makeup, and elegant clothing, became the envy of women everywhere. She always radiated a sense of sophisticated confidence, whether dashing in couture gowns on the red carpet or sporting a white button-down shirt and jeans in Bullitt in 1968. She was a favored subject for fashion photographers Helmut Newton and Richard Avedon because of her effortlessly undone beauty. She attends significant fashion events at 80, demonstrating the timeless nature of great elegance. When questioned about her idea of beauty, Jacqueline maintains that comfort and confidence are the keys to looking fabulous. Even though she doesn't follow trends, stylists and designers still regard her as the epitome of vintage Hollywood glitz. Why she never had children. Unlike many of her Hollywood contemporaries, Jacqueline Bisset never felt compelled to go the conventional route of marriage and children. She's been in several well-known relationships, but never married or had children. She's freely admitted in interviews that although she loves kids, she's never felt the need to have her own. Instead, she prioritized her work, personal development, and the ability to live as she saw fit. Her unorthodox upbringing, which was characterized by her father's early death and her mother's strong influence, is thought to have influenced her independence. Additionally, she's treated younger actors like family by mentoring and supporting them. According to Jacqueline, she doesn't regret her choice because she thinks there are many other ways to find fulfillment. She has persisted in forging a distinct and independent identity in a field where women are frequently characterized by their personal lives. The film that revived her career. Although Jacqueline Bisset has moved into more specialized parts by the 1990s, her portrayal as Joan of Arc in 1999 reminded audiences of her extraordinary talent. In her portrayal of the iconic heroine's mother, Isabelle d'Arc, Jacqueline gave a powerful performance that evoked maternal strength and intense grief. Lily Sobieski played Joan in the miniseries, a widely praised and significant television event. Jacqueline received a Golden Globe nomination for her depiction, which was commended for its depth and realism. Although Joan's voyage was the main focus of the movie, many critics noted that Jacqueline's presence added emotional intensity. In addition to solidifying her reputation as a formidable actress, the role garnered her numerous significant offers. It was a turning point that demonstrated that performing at a high level might happen at any age. She was still enthralling decades after her career began. Her most underrated role. One of Jacqueline Bisset's most underappreciated roles was in the independent drama The Sleepy Time Gal in 2001, despite her starring in many classic movies. She portrayed Frances, a woman with a terminal disease who's trying to get back in touch with her estranged daughter in this incredibly poignant movie. She had to draw on her natural vulnerability for the show, which differed from her typical glamorous roles. Audiences were moved by her nuanced portrayal of a woman grappling with regret, mortality, and the pursuit of purpose. Despite the film's lack of popularity, critics praised Jacqueline's performance as one of her most potent and most poignant. She demonstrated that she was an actress of remarkable depth, in addition to being a stunning Hollywood beauty. The Sleepy Time Gal is still regarded as a hidden gem in her filmography by fans who value her talent for creating nuanced, multi-layered characters. Hollywood's best-kept beauty secret. How does Jacqueline Bisset maintain her graceful defiance of aging? Jacqueline has adopted a different strategy, focusing on self-care, balance, and discipline, in contrast to many Hollywood celebrities who rely on cosmetic surgery. She swears by staying out of the sun, drinking lots of water, and never skipping a healthy meal. She favors moderation and persistence over drastic beautification regimens or crash diets. Facial massages are one of her favorite routines, and she attributes this to keeping her skin supple. She also meditates to lower stress, which is crucial for maintaining a youthful appearance. In contrast to many actresses who battle Hollywood's fixation with youth, Jacqueline embraces aging with confidence, demonstrating that true beauty isn't just about appearances, but about how you carry yourself at any age. She once joked that the secret to aging is staying curious and laughing often. Turning down blockbuster roles. Jacqueline Bisset had the chance to star in some of Hollywood's biggest movies over her career, but she didn't hesitate to turn down a part if it didn't feel right. She was most famously rejected for her role as Lois Lane in Superman in 1978. Her remarkable appearance and unquestionable on-screen presence drew the attention of producers who wanted to cast her, but in the end, Jacqueline declined the part, and Margot Kidder later played the legendary Lois opposite Christopher Reeve. Even if Superman became a huge hit, Jacqueline never regretted choosing to work on projects that spoke to her personally. She also declined other well-known parts in movies that would become classics to concentrate on various unusual roles. Her career choices demonstrate her dedication to artistic over popular appeal. Even though some may view it as a lost opportunity, ultimately, her legacy is still one of integrity and adaptability. How she stays fit. Jacqueline Bisset maintains an impressive figure well into her 80s without adhering to the newest exercise trends. She swears on Pilates, swimming, and long walks to keep her head calm and her body toned. Unlike many celebrities who follow rigorous exercise regimens, Jacqueline favors a more organic approach. She's been able to stick to a regimen for decades because she believes in pleasurable rather than punitive movement. One more secret: since her early days as a ballet student, she's valued maintaining proper posture. She credits mindful eating, which prioritizes fresh, organic foods over strict dieting for her improved health and increased physical activity. Jacqueline has accepted aging gracefully, despite being surrounded by a culture fixated on youth. Beauty isn't only about looks, it's about how you live your life. Her carefree elegance and healthy lifestyle inspire viewers and other actresses. Her love for classic Hollywood. The elegance and mysticism of old Hollywood, where performers and actresses exuded an impenetrable beauty, have always been adored by Jacqueline Bisset. She's acknowledged the power of beauty and talent to enthrall viewers, citing icons such as Audrey Hepburn, Greta Garbo, and Ava Gardner as examples. According to Jacqueline, the golden age of Hollywood preserved a degree of mystery that made actors seem larger than life, in contrast to today's social media and overexposure. Before the blockbuster period took over, she remembers how storytelling felt more intimate when working with renowned directors. She's tried to preserve the elegance and complexity of that period, even in her career, steering clear of highly marketed films and opting for parts with nuance. Even though much has changed in Hollywood since Jacqueline first appeared on the scene, she still exudes the classic style that made her one of the last real cinema stars. The role that challenged her the most. One of the most challenging parts Jacqueline Bisset has ever played was as Jackie Kennedy in America's Prince, the John F. Kennedy Jr. story. It took excellent preparation to walk in the footsteps of one of the most respected and closely watched women in American history. Jackie's demeanor, speaking patterns, and emotional burden followed the untimely death of John F. Kennedy were all examined by Jacqueline. Capturing Jackie's private life was even more challenging since beneath the glamorous First Lady persona, there was a woman who had suffered a terrible loss and was still juggling the demands of public life. Critics applauded Jacqueline's composed and nuanced performance, describing it as one of the most sophisticated depictions of Jackie Kennedy in cinema, despite the film's mixed reviews. Jacqueline still views the part as a challenge that tests her abilities, demonstrating that she could still push herself with complicated characters decades into her career. Her real estate investments. Jacqueline Bisset has consistently demonstrated sound financial sense, unlike many Hollywood celebrities who often engage in extravagant spending. Over the years, she's made wise real estate investments that have ensured stability over time rather than fleeting luxury. She appreciates the peace that comes with being away from the bustle of Hollywood in her gorgeous house in Beverly Hills. She has a lovely retreat in France that she uses as a getaway from the industry, but her heart has always been there. In contrast to celebrities who frequently purchase and sell real estate, Jacqueline prefers to keep sentimental houses. She's also upgraded her rooms with timeless aesthetic, choosing traditional European styles over modern ones. Her tasteful, pragmatic, and stylish real estate selections reflect her identity. Younger celebrities frequently become enmeshed in the fast-paced world of Hollywood. Still, Jacqueline has demonstrated that making wise choices on and off screen is the key to longevity in the business. Her favorite co-star. Despite acting alongside some of Hollywood's biggest stars, Jacqueline Bisset frequently names Paul Newman as her favorite co-star. Jacqueline was profoundly impacted by the iconic actor, renowned for his effortless charisma and piercing blue eyes, both as an actor and as a person. She said he had a remarkable capacity to convey realism in every role he portrayed and praised his commitment to his work. Paul was impressive off-screen. His generosity, humility, and charitable endeavors distinguished him in a field frequently characterized by vanity. Jacqueline has reminisced about her time working with him, highlighting his generosity as a scene partner and his consistent effort to ensure his co-stars were the center of attention. Although she's worked with many gifted performers, Paul Newman stands out as one of her most treasured partners due to his kindness and professionalism. Their on-screen interactions will always be remembered. The one film she'd do differently. Although Jacqueline Bisset hasn't had many regrets in her career, she has acknowledged that The Deep would be the one film she would like to retake. Even though the underwater thriller was a huge box office success, Jacqueline's appearance, especially her well-known wet t-shirt scene, attracted much attention. She wishes her character had been more nuanced beyond her appearance, even if she could appreciate the commercial appeal. In retrospect, she wishes she had approached the part differently, giving her performance more nuance. She acknowledges that the movie contributed to her global recognition, therefore she doesn't feel bad about its success. She's openly discussed how Hollywood frequently puts appearance over content over the years, and The Deep served her an early introduction to that reality. However, she still feels pleased with her role in the movie and is grateful to the people who know her from more than one memorable scene. What's next for Jacqueline? Jacqueline Bisset isn't planning on leaving the screen, even at 80. She continues to be picky about her assignments, only taking on roles that push her as an actress. Her most recent role was in Lauren in Rose in 2022, in which she portrayed an experienced actress reflecting on her life and career in a poignant performance. The movie served as a reminder that she still has excellent acting skills. Along with performing, she's indicated a desire to teach aspiring actors by imparting the knowledge she's accumulated over the years of working in the business. She's also expressed her desire to work on more European film projects, as she always has a strong passion for foreign films. Hollywood is still dominated by Jacqueline Bisset's skill, grace, and unwavering love of storytelling. Regardless of her future actions, one thing is sure, she's already solidified her reputation as one of the most compelling actors of her era. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon